वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गुरु महाराज की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Harita from Texas, welcoming all of you to this mid-morning Japa session of Bhakti Sangha. I thank all of you for attending this session. So let us, before going to the next session, I would request all of you to please introduce yourself.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Yashva Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasini Devadasi from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you, Mataji, for your welcoming and your beautiful recitation of Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna Preeti Vilasini Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to your services, Mataji. Thank you for joining today's call, Mataji, and welcome to the call, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Harita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sanita Ramya from Sharjah. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the beautiful recitation of Biji. Shlokas.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining today's call, Mataji, and thank you for the encouragement. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, glory to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Nita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining the call every day, Mataji, and welcome to the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome you to Bhakti Sangha Japa group, to our session Sri Caitanya Bhagavata Antya Kanda. And today's verses are from chapter 3, 488 onwards. And our speaker today is Cinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji. Hare Krishna, Cinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all glories to your wonderful services and insightful classes, Mataji. Before handing over the call to you, I would like to read Srila Prabhupada's quote for today, Mataji. I'm just pulling it up. Yeah, so it's November 13th. Why do you want to go on world tour? People everywhere are doing the same thing: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Each is each in some slightly different way. What but same substance is there. It is better if you want to travel, you can travel to preach and spread this Krishna consciousness to the suffering humanity at large. Letter to Krish, November 13th, 1968. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Chinmay Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances and please take over the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Harita Mataji. Thank you so much for your warm welcome. Thank you, Preeti Vilasini Mataji, and thank you, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, for giving me this opportunity. Zero qualifications, but still, whenever you ask me, I take this opportunity just to purify myself. So please tolerate me. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. My humble obeisances at the lotus feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas. Please bless me that whatever I speak will be totally in accord with Srila Prabhupada's words, Srila Guru Maharaj's words, and no words will rise from my mental concoction. We'll start with Mangalacharan prayers. ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते तप्त काञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्या प्रभो नित्यानन्दा श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्दा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दं माधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरिः ओं तत्सत् Hare Krishna everybody. We are in this beautiful section of Caitanya Bhagavat where Mahaprabhu has left the home of Vidyavachaspati and he comes to Kulia. And then everybody, all the residents of Navadvip, they get to hear that Mahaprabhu has reached Kulia. So they all come to Kulia and Vidyavachaspati begs Mahaprabhu to give darshan. And Mahaprabhu gives darshan to all the residents of Kulia and all these Navadvip people also. And then we saw from yesterday we saw the beginning of the pastime of Devanand Pandit. So Devanand Pandit, he is okay. Before that, I've gathered few points about Kulia. Kulia is present-day Navadvip, is the present town of Navadvip. We all know Navadvip has 9 islands. So this is Koladvipa. And the other name for Kulia is, it's also called Aparada Bhanjana Kulia because Mahaprabhu exhibited this beautiful pastime of forgiving everybody here. So this is a place where offenses are forgiven. So I was just seeing some Guru Maharaj's quotes or something about Kulia, and he says, so when you go to Koladvipa, you pray there to get forgiven for any offenses we have done. We should pray for forgiveness, and also if somebody has offended us, we can forgive them there, Guru Maharaj says. And also in one of the lectures of Guru Maharaj, I was seeing Guru Maharaj says this, he gives one more importance to Kuladvipa. We have this Varaha Avatara, and Varahadeva comes. He comes from the nostril of Brahmaji, and he grows big, 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 big. And then there is this beautiful fight. He rescues Mother Earth, puts her back in her position, and there is this beautiful, this tremendous big fight with Hiranyaksha. And at that time, it seems Mahavaraha, he put one of his foot on earth, and then with the other foot he smashed Hiranyaksha on the head. And the place where Mahavaraha's lotus foot landed on earth is Kuladvipa. So this was something I found out. And now going on to Devanand Pandita's pastime. Uh, Devanand Pandit had offended whom? Will you all like to answer? What was the offense which Devanand Pandit had committed?
Sevastopol?
Yes, Mataji, do you want to say what in 1 or 2 words?
Was it that he kept the offerings for Mother Kali?
That was not
Gopal
Devanand.
Chapal. No.
That was Gopal Chapal. Devanand Pandit is a professional Bhagavatam.
Oh, yeah. Correct. Professional Bhagavatam reader, yeah. Correct.
Yes.
He said Srivas Pandit was, he was, I don't know, sentimentally reacting? What was it?
Yes, Mataji. So once Srivas Pandit goes to Kulia, and he hears the Devanand Pandit's recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, but Srivas Pandit being a um, bhakta with rasas, he starts enjoying, and he sheds torrential tears, and he starts crying, and even I read somewhere that he starts rolling on the ground. So the students of Devanand Pandit consider this to be a disturbance to their master's recitation, and they lift Srivas Pandit and they take him out of the assembly. And and also one more incident is when Mahaprabhu, after this, once when Mahaprabhu was wandering in Navadvip, he comes to Kulia. This is also the place of Maheshwara Visharada. Who is that?
Visharada.
Visharada. He is Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's father. So
Father.
there, Devanand Pandit's house is also there. While Mahaprabhu is walking, he hears, and Devanand Pandit was sitting and reciting Bhagavatam then. So Mahaprabhu hears this recitation, and Mahaprabhu becomes very angry. He says, "What is this?" With sharp words, the Lord says, "What does this fellow know about the meaning described in Srimad Bhagavatam? He will never know Bhagavatam in many lifetimes." And saying this, Mahaprabhu glorifies Srimad Bhagavatam, which we will see in today's verses also. Mahaprabhu says, at that time, Mahaprabhu says Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of Krishna. It is the essence of 4 Vedas, and in fact, 4 Vedas are like milk, and when that milk is churned, the butter which comes out is Srimad Bhagavatam, and the person who is churning the milk is none other than our Shukadeva Goswami, and the person who is eating this butter is our Parikshit Maharaj. So, and Mahaprabhu says that Shukadeva Goswami, he knows the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he is very dear to me. So, and Mahaprabhu says, an irreligious person who rejects bhakti and finds some other meaning in Srimad Bhagavatam will never understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Saying this, Mahaprabhu walks away from Devanand Pandit's house. So, a little information about Devanand Pandit. Devanand Pandit in Gaur Desh Deepika is said to be Bhaguri Muni. Bhaguri Muni is the name given by Srila Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, where he describes the branches of Mahaprabhu's tree with Krishna Prema. And this and in ISKCON Desire Tree, it is given as Bhandari Muni. So I don't know, it could be different versions of the same name. So this Bhagari Muni was a Sabha Pandit in Nanda Maharaja's house. And he would recite Vedic literatures for Nanda Maharaja. So that was his role in Krishna Lila. Now, so we saw how this Devanand Pandit has changed now by the influence of Vakreshwar Pandit. So once it happens that this we saw yesterday, Vakreshwar Pandit had once gone to Kulia, and there he starts dancing. Vakreshwar Pandit is a very, very dear associate of Mahaprabhu, and he is known for dancing. And when he was performing one such dances, uh, Devanand Pandit serves him by keeping a stick and chasing away all the people. And then he also serves Vakreshwar Pandit in menial ways, and he takes the dust from his lotus feet and puts it on his head. So now our Devanand Pandit is fully reformed, and he's repenting for his mistakes, and he has come to Kulia to meet our Mahaprabhu. In fact, the influence of Vakreshwar Pandit has made Devanand Pandit meet Mahaprabhu. So we'll start with today's verses. Okay, today the verses are from 488. वक्रेश्वर पंडितेरा संगेर प्रभावे गौरचंद्र देखिते चलीला अनुरागे. By the influence of Vakreshwar Pandita's association, Devananda developed an intense desire to see Gaurachandra. वसिया अछेन गौरा चंद्र भगवाना देवानंद पंडित हैला विद्यमाना. As Lord Gaurachandra was sitting, Devanand Pandit came before the Lord. दंडवत देवानंद पंडित करिया रहिले न एक भीते संकोचिते हया. After offering his humble obeisances, Devanand Pandita stood hesitantly in the corner. After all, he's been chastised by Mahaprabhu. He's been the Mahaprabhu has come till Devanand Pandit's house, but he did not come to Devanand Pandit's house. So Devanand Pandit has all these hesitations in his heart, and though he's reformed, he's very hesitant to go in front of Mahaprabhu. प्रभु ओताहाने देखी शांतो शीत हैला विरला हयताने लाइला व्यसिला. I think that thing got messed up. I'm sorry. The Lord, however, was pleased to see him and had him sit down next to him. That is our most merciful Gauranga. पूर्वे तानायत किछु चिल अपराधा सकल क्षमीय प्रभु करिल प्रसादा. The Lord excused all of Devananda's previous offenses and bestowed his mercy on him. The Lord was so angry at Devanand Pandit before, because he had insulted his very dear Srivas Thakur, and he was giving Mayavadic interpretations to Srimad Bhagavatam. But now he has excused him, and the Lord will say why he has excused him. प्रभु बले तुमी ये सेविला वक्रेश्वरा अतैव हैला तुमी आमारा गोचारा. The Lord said, you are able to see me because you served Vakreshwara Pandita. So because Devanand Pandit served Vakreshwar Pandit, just because of that one point, the Lord says, I have forgiven you and I am revealing myself to you. So this is the potency of serving pure devotees. The Lord will start recognizing us. So I will, in fact, all of us have come to bhakti because of mercy from devotees, and then there is always showering of mercy of pure devotees. Otherwise, we would not be here. And so I thought we will just read this verse. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कोनो भाग्यवान जीवा गुरु कृष्ण प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीजा. So bhakti lata bija is given only when there is guru and Krishna's prasada. So we will see a little bit of this Purport 2. So translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. According to their karma, all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planetary systems, and some are going down into the lower systems. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of the creeper of devotional service, the Bhakti Lata Bija. So we'll see here and there a little bit of Srila Prabhupada's purport. So Prabhupada says, when we speak of Brahmanda, we refer to the whole universe or to the cluster of many millions of universes. So there are innumerable planets and innumerable living entities. And we are all just wandering here, there, here. There are millions and trillions of living entities everywhere. And they are all engaged by Maya in suffering and enjoying the results of their fruitive activity life after life. This is the position of the materially conditioned living entities. Out of these millions and trillions of living entities, one who is actually fortunate comes in contact with a bona fide spiritual master by Krishna's mercy. So Krishna is situated in everyone's heart, and if one desires something, then Krishna fulfills that desire. So this is so beautifully put by Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, if a living entity by chance or fortune comes in contact with the Krishna consciousness moment, and then he wishes to associate with that moment, then Krishna, who is situated in his heart, will give him a chance to meet a bona fide spiritual master. So we see this in Lilamrita also, when not even Prabhupada, when Prabhupada's newly formed disciples, they would go out and perform Nagar Sankirtan. They would always come back to the temple carrying a bunch load of people with them. They would all be so interested that they would just follow them and come to the temple. And in the temple, nice prasadam would be waiting for them. And that's it. They would, they would not go back at all. So Krishna is prepared to bestow his mercy upon all living entities. And as soon as a living entity desires the Lord's mercy, the Lord immediately gives him an opportunity to meet a bona fide spiritual master. So such a fortunate person is fortified by both Krishna and the spiritual master. Help from within is given by Krishna, and from without is given by spiritual master. We all know our spiritual masters are the external manifestations of our Paramatmas. And here Prabhupada gives a very beautiful reference. Prabhupada talks about the life of Srila Narada Muni. So how one can become this fortunate is seen in the life of Srila Narada Muni. So in his previous life, Narada Muni was born as the son of maid servant, and not a prestigious position. And but what was the mother doing? Mother was fortunate enough to engage in some service to some Vaishnavas. So these Bhakti Vedantas, they stayed in his mother's, the ashram where his mother was a maid servant during the Chaturmasya period. And Narada Muni, as a little boy, he took advantage of their presence. And the Bhakti Vedantas, taking compassion on this little boy, they offered their remnants of food. And by serving these Vaishnavas, by obeying their orders, the boy became the object of their sympathy. And by the Vaishnavas' unknown mercy, he gradually became a pure devotee. And in the next life, he was the most exalted of Vaishnavas and the most important Guru and Acharya of Vaishnavas. That's Narada Muni. So Prabhupada says, following in the footsteps of Narada Muni, this Krishna consciousness movement is rendering service to humanity by giving everyone a chance to come in contact with Krishna. If one is fortunate, he becomes intimately related with this movement. Then by the grace of Krishna, one's life becomes successful. So Prabhupada says dormant devotional service to Krishna is within everyone. And simply by associating with devotees and hearing their instructions and chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, that dormant love is awakened. So this is what Prabhupada says in this purport. And it got me thinking of various other devotees, various personalities who by the sheer mercy of a pure devotee have risen to high levels. And of course, what comes to our mind will be Srila Prabhupada and all those newly formed, all of our Guru Vargas. And I was just thinking of taking few things from Leelamrita. This is the initial days of Prabhupada in New York. And if you all are okay, I will read the name of the personality, the name with which they were known before, and then I will relate a short pastime, what they did to Sir Prabhupada. And then if we can guess the personality's name for now. It's just something by which we can all get purified. They're all great Maharajas and great personalities, Prabhupada's disciples. So I thought of this. So let's start with one great personality. Steve. One day, when I brought my daily mango to him, he was in his room surrounded by devotees. I gave him my mango and sat down, and he said, "Very good boy." The way he said it, as if I were just a little tiny boy, made everyone laugh in the room, and I felt foolish. Swamiji, however, then changed their mood by saying, "No, this is actually love. This is Krishna consciousness." And then they didn't laugh. So this personality, Steve, is Stephen Guarino. I'm so sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Any guesses who this personality later became as? He's
Satsuru Das Goswami Mataji.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji, the author of Leelamrita. Yes. Okay. And okay. When Howard first volunteered to do editing, he spent the whole morning working in Swamiji's room. If there is any more typing, Howard said, let me know. I could take it back to Mott Street and type there. More? There's lots more, Swamiji said. And he opened the closet and pulled out 2 large bundles of manuscripts tied in saffron cloth. There were thousands of pages, single-spaced manuscripts of Prabhupada's translations of Srimad Bhagavatam. Howard stood there, astonished. It's a lifetime of typing. And Prabhupada smiled and said, "Oh yes, many lifetimes." Who is this Howard? Who did the initial editing for Srila Prabhupada?
Can I take a random guess? It's a very wild guess. It could be wrong. Hridayanand Das Goswami? No?
I don't think so, Mataji.
You don't think so? Okay.
Hridayanand Goswami.
Mataji,
Hi, Kriva.
Hi, great.
I agree. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yes, I agree with Prabhu. Okay, I'll go further. Howard, Keith, and Wally devised a scheme to surprise the Swami when he came to the evening Kirtana. So this was our 26th 2nd Avenue and the storefront. And Prabhupada had started giving lectures there, but it was still a very bare storefront. So these 3 personalities, Howard, Keith, and Wally, they wanted to brighten up that room and make it like a temple. So Wally removed the curtains from their apartment and took them to laundromat and then dyed them purple. The Mott Street apartment was decorated with posters, paintings, and large decorative silk hangings that Howard and Keith had brought back from India. So the boys gathered up all their pictures, tapestries, incense burners, other paraphernalia, and took them along with the purple curtains to the storefront where they began their day of decorating. At the storefront, the boys constructed a wooden platform for Prabhupada to sit and covered it with old velvet cloth. Behind the platform, on the rear wall between the 2 windows to the courtyard, they hung the purple curtains, flanked by a pair of orange ones. And they also hung a large original painting of Radha and Krishna on a circular canvas that James Green had done. Prabhupada had commissioned James, giving him the dust jacket from his Srimad Bhagavatam with its crude Indian drawing as a model. The figures of Radha and Krishna were somewhat abstract, but the Lower East Side critics who frequented the storefront hailed the work as a wonderful achievement. Okay, so now who was Keith?
Kirtananand Maharaj.
Hari Bol, Kirtanand Maharaj. Wally? Wally, I had to find out.
Umapati Prabhu.
Hari Bol, who said that?
Hare Krishna.
Who
Wow,
else?
Mataji,
Yes.
Mataji.
You should. The
I
minute
didn't know
you
you
heard
would
that,
be
you
here,
should know who
Mataji.
said it.
Yes, Mataji.
No, you had read Leelamrita at least twice, the 7 volume, that much I know.
No, Mataji, I did a lot of work for this. Okay. Then, yeah, Keith we covered with these. And how this is all they did. The whole day they spent and they decorated that place. Someone brought a pillow for Swamiji. Then, so this way, Robert Nelson, he brought oriental rugs from his grandfather's house, from his grandfather's garage. So this way they decorated the place. This is the service they did for Prabhupada. And now comes a very amazing personality, Mike Grant. You all may know. I came one evening and all of a sudden there were carpets on the floor, pictures on the wall and paintings. Just all of a sudden it had blossomed and was full of people. Mike Grant?
Mukunda Goswami.
Haribol. Yes, Prabhuji Mukunda Goswami. Okay, now I will, this is the first initiation which Srila Prabhupada did on the Janmashtami day, and he initiated 11 people. So let's try some. Bill Epstein is a little difficult. Ravindra Swarup Maharaj. And okay, Jan Mataji.
Janaki Mataji.
Janaki, yes.
Yes. Roy
Raya Rama.
Rama. Oh my God, Mataji, you're amazing. And so the personalities who got initiated that day were Howard, Wally, Mike Grant, Bill Epstein, Jan, Roy, Carl Jensen. And he got named as Karlapati. Then Stanley got named as Triyadisha. And James got named as Jagannatha. And then 2 more boys came at night and took initiation. They were also there. That was one Stanley, who was Satyavrata, and then Janice was Janardhana. And then I want to name one more personality, Bruce Scharf. He was a teacher and he used to get $400 as salary, and he would he would use all the $400 as to pay rent for Prabhupada's apartment, that storefront. Who was this later? Bruce.
Brahmanand Prabhu.
Brahmanand. And now the last one, I know I have to cover a lot of verses. The last one, Joanne.
The famous Yamuna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. I'll just read these few lines. I can't resist. So this Joanne Mataji was, Yamuna Mataji, she was sister to Janki Mataji. And she, so right after this initiation, Prabhupada conducts the wedding of Mukunda and Janaki. And at that time, Joanne comes from Oregon all the way. And Swamiji gets introduced to her. And Swamiji immediately takes her to kitchen and gives her tons of work to do. First, Swamiji feeds her. He offered me some dal, a rather moist sabji, yogurt, salad, and chapatis. And this prasadam was very unpalatable to me. Practically speaking, it was sticking in my throat the whole time. But I remember looking over at the radiant, beautiful person who was so eager for me to take this prasadam that he had prepared. So I took it all. But in my mind, I decided this would be the last time I would take this lachion with the devotees. This is Yamuna Mataji. Okay. So then Prabhupada takes Mataji to the kitchen, and first, he made her wash his hands, and then I'm going to read it as it is. Can you make a medium soft dough? Prabhupada asked. I replied, do you mean a pastry or a pie crust or a short crust dough or a pate brise dough something? Okay, I don't even know all these. What kind of pastry do you want? All these questions were asked by Joanne Mataji. How old are you? Prabhupada asked. And I said, I'm 25, Swamiji. You are 25 and you can't make a medium soft dough. It is a custom in India that any young girl from the age of 5 years is very experienced in making this dough. But never mind, I will show you. So Prabhupada shows Mataji everything. And it was rather a hot afternoon, and Mataji was perspiring, and she asked, Swamiji, may I please have a glass of water? Then Prabhupada says, go wash your hands. I immediately did so, and when I returned, Swamiji had a glass of water for me. And then after some time, about 2 in the afternoon, Swamiji, may I have a cigarette? Go wash your hands. So I did. And when I came back, he explained to me the 4 rules of Krishna consciousness. So this is our Yamuna Mataji. So let's continue with today's verses. I just wanted to reflect how just by serving a pure devotee, of course, all those personalities were said by Prabhupada as you're all not just any American boys and girls. You were sent by my Guru Maharaj to help me. Of course, that is there. But through Leelamrita, what we can understand is how easily they all became so close to Krishna. So we'll continue text 494. वक्रेश्वर पंडिता प्रभुर पूर्ण शक्ति से ही कृष्ण पाया ये तहारा करे भक्ति. Vakreshwar Pandita possesses the full potencies of the Supreme Lord. Anyone who serves him attains Krishna. Vakreshwara hridaye krishnera nija ghara Krishna nritya kare nachite Vakreshwara. Krishna personally resides in the heart of Vakreshwara Pandit. When Vakreshwara dances, Krishna dances. Yes, yete sthane yadi Vakreshwara sangahaya seyi sthana sarva tirtha Shri Vaikuntha Maya. Any place that is associated with Vakreshwara Pandita is equal to all the holy places and is as good as Vaikuntha. So this Vakreshwar Pandit was a very dear associate of Mahaprabhu. He was present when Mahaprabhu was doing his pastimes in Navadvipa also. So Vakreshwar Pandit would dance in Srivasangan, Chandrasekhar, and also when Mahaprabhu would do sometimes his nocturnal kirtan in Chandrasekhara's house, even there Vakreshwar Pandit would go and dance with Mahaprabhu. So actually Vakreshwar Pandit took birth in the village of Guptipara near Triveni. And he was a very proficient dancer and kirtaniya, and he could dance continuously for 72 hours. And Mahaprabhu himself would sing for Vakreshwar Pandit. So when Mahaprabhu moved to Jagannath Puri, then also Vakreshwar Pandit moved with Mahaprabhu. And we all know during Rath Yatra, when Mahaprabhu would form 7 groups, in one of the groups, Vakreshwar Pandit would be the chief dancer all the time. And Vakreshwar Pandit stayed in Kashi Mishra's house, and his worshipable deity is called Sri Sri Radha Kanta. And these deities are still being worshipped there. And Gaur Ganodesh Deepika says Vakreshwar Pandit is the 4th member of Chaturvyuha, that is Aniruddha, and also Radha's dear Sakhi Shashi Rekha also entered into him. And somewhere, I don't know how reliable this is, I also read he is Tungavidya. I'm not very sure of that information. But so that is our Vakreshwar Pandit, and because he is just any place that is associated with Vakreshwar Pandit will become a holy place, and it is as good as Vaikuntha. So that's the glories of Vakreshwar Pandit. And Vakreshwar Pandit was also a spiritual master, and he accepted many disciples in Orissa. And he is considered the 5th branch of our Chaitanya's tree. So we'll proceed further. So that was the glorification of Vakreshwar Pandit, and this is what Mahaprabhu tells Devanand Pandit. Just because he had the association of Vakreshwar Pandit, he is going to receive the mercy of Mahaprabhu now. शुनि विप्र देवानंद प्रभुरवचना योड़ा हस्ते लागी लेना खरीते स्तवाना. When the Brahmana Devanand Pandit heard the Lord's words, he folded his hands and began to offer prayers. जगत उद्धार लागी तुम्ही कृपा माया नवद्वीप माझी असी हैला उदया. You are most merciful. You have appeared in Navadvipa to deliver the people of the entire universe. मुई पापी दैव दोषे तो मन जानीलू तुम्हारा परमानंदे वंचित हईलू. I could not recognize you because I am sinful and unfortunate. I was therefore deprived of the opportunity to relish transcendental happiness in your association. How nicely is Devanand Pandit repenting. Says, I could not recognize you because I am so sinful, I am so unfortunate, I did not recognize you. And also he had the audacity to let his students throw away a very, very, very dear associate of Mahaprabhu. So he says, I was therefore deprived of the opportunity to relish transcendental happiness in your association. सर्वभूत कृपालुता तोमारा स्वभावा एई मागो तोमाते होक अनुरागा. You are by nature compassionate to all living entities. I beg that I may have attachment for you. So this is the beautiful prayer which Devanand Pandit offers to Mahaprabhu. He says, I beg that I may have attachment for you. This we see so many times. So many devotees ask for this. May I never forget you. May I always be attached to you. So something which I can incorporate, I can think of. I can at least by saying this, somehow we can follow their footsteps. Now Devanand Pandit comes to a request from Mahaprabhu. He says, Eka nivedana prabhu tomara charane ki kari upaya prabhu balaha apane. O Lord, I have one request at your lotus feet. Please instruct me. And what should Mahaprabhu instruct? मुई असर्वज्ञ सर्वज्ञेरा ग्रंथ लाइया भागवत पढ़ाना आपने आज्ञा हैया. I am an ignorant person, yet I am teaching Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a book meant for the most intelligent persons. So Prabhupada Saraswati's commentary for today. Sarvagnya Vishnu Swami has accepted Srimad Bhagavatam as the commentary on Vedanta. Devananda Pandita said, it is true that I am proud of teaching Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a book meant for the most intelligent persons. But I am ignorant and less intelligent. Please therefore instruct me, how should I recite Srimad Bhagavatam? So, a few days back, Her Grace Preeti Vilasni Mataji was also saying it stays with me. Hope I apply it, I'm sorry, that it is humility, like what is the qualification for us to get Mahaprabhu's mercy is we should be honest, right? We should know that we are most fallen, not just saying we are fallen, but we should recognize it and actually understand our position. So that's what Devanand Pandit is doing here. He's saying, I'm ignorant, I'm less intelligent, but I am teaching something which is a book for the most intelligent people, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm doing it, so please tell me the right way to do it. Kiba khani mu padai mu vake mane iha more agnya prabhu karaha apane. How should I explain it and what should I teach? Oh Lord, kindly instruct me. So this is the prayer which Devanand Prabhu is asking. He's asking, how should I explain Srimad Bhagavatam and what should I teach in it? So this is, now let's see what Gaurachandra has got to say. Shunitana Vakya Gora Chandra Bhagavana Kahite Lagila Bhagavatera Pramana. On hearing Devanand's words, Lord Gaurachandra began to quote evidence from Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Shuna Vipra Bhagavate Eyi Vakhaniba Bhakti Vina Ara Kichu Mukhena Aniba. Listen, O Brahmana, while teaching Srimad Bhagavatam, you should not explain anything other than devotional service. So, Srimad Bhagavatam, we have to read in an attitude of humility, in an attitude that Srimad Bhagavatam is literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord Himself. And while somebody is narrating something from Srimad Bhagavatam, they should explain nothing other than devotional service. That is the instruction given by Srimad Mahaprabhu. आदि मध्य अंत्ये भागवते इकाया विष्णु भक्ति नित्य सिद्धा अक्षय अव्यया. In the beginning, middle and end of Srimad Bhagavatam, devotional service to Vishnu is described as eternally perfect, inexhaustible and infallible. So, for this, Prabhupada Saraswati wants us to see this verse 12, 13, 11. Let me try opening it. So it says the same thing. From the beginning to end, Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narrations that encourage renunciation of material life, as well as nectarian accounts of Lord Hari's transcendental pastimes, which give ecstasy to the saintly devotees and demigods. This Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedanta philosophy because its subject matter is the absolute truth, which, while non-different from the spirit soul, is the ultimate reality, one without a second. The goal of this literature is exclusive devotional service unto that supreme truth. So this is what Mahaprabhu is asking Devanand Pandit to do. Talk about exclusive devotional service. So here I'll just read this part of the purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Thus, the ultimate goal of Srimad Bhagavatam is to train the sincere reader in love of Godhead. Lord Krishna is supremely lovable because of his eternal transcendental qualities. The beauty of this world is a dim reflection of the unlimited beauty of the Lord. Without compromise, Srimad Bhagavatam persistently declares the glories of the absolute truth and is therefore the supreme spiritual literature, awarding a full taste of the nectar of love of Krishna in full Krishna consciousness. So here Prabhupada says, Srimad Bhagavatam will train the sincere reader to get love of Godhead. So this was something, it struck me when I was reading. I just read it sometimes without any sort of dedication. I just read it sometimes to just enjoy also I read. But no, the mood should be to sincerely we should read it with, and when we read, the goal should be that someday this Srimad Bhagavatam will train me enough to get love of Godhead. So this, by Prabhupada's this statement, it just, I was so struck by the statement, thought I will share it. So we'll move further. अनंते ब्रह्मांडे सबे सत्य विष्णु भक्ति महाप्रलय ओ यारथा के पूर्ण शक्ति. Devotional service to Vishnu is the only truth throughout the innumerable universes. It remains fully potent even during the universal devastation. So Prabhupada Saraswati has asked us to see these verses. I am not opening all the verses, respecting everybody's time. Please forgive me for that. I'll read Srila Prabhupada Saraswati's commentary. In the Rig Veda 122.20, it is stated, Om Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayah. Those who are spiritually advanced simply look to the lotus feet of Vishnu. In the Vishnu Purana, it is stated, Na Chavanti Yato Bhakti Mahati Pralaye Sati. Even during the universal devastation, devotional service is not lost. So Prabhupada Saraswati is giving references for Mahaprabhu's statement. How even during universal devastation, bhakti is not lost. Moksha diya bhakti gopya kare narayana he na bhakti na jani krishnera kripa vina. Narayana awards liberation but hides devotional service. One cannot attain devotional service without Krishna's mercy. Srila Prabhupada Saraswati's commentary for this. In answer to Devananda's questions, Sriman Mahaprabhu said, devotional service is the sum and substance of Srimad Bhagavatam. That devotional service is eternally perfect, devoid of deterioration, and is not lost even during the universal devastation. By awarding material enjoyment and liberation, the Supreme Lord keeps the devotional service hidden from the living entities. Without the mercy of the Supreme Lord, there is no possibility of attaining devotional service. So we see in Nectar of Devotion also, Srila Rupa Goswami says how bhakti and mukti are maid servants to bhakti. So bhakti is the queen, she walks ahead, and bhakti and mukti will just follow her like servants. So bhakti and mukti are very easily, they can be given by the Supreme Lord. Bhakti is material enjoyment and mukti is of course liberation. So he will easily reward it, but bhakti he will wait, we need a pure devotee's mercy for that. So that's what Prabhupada Saraswati is saying here. भागवत शास्त्रे श्रे से भक्ति तत्व कहे तेनी भागवत सम कोन शास्त्र न है. Because Srimad Bhagavatam glorifies devotional service, there is no literature equal to it. The word teni means therefore. Since Srimad Bhagavatam describes the glories of devotional service, there is no literature in the entire world equal to Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is Prabhupada Saraswati is asked to see certain verses here. I just wrote it down, not exactly the translation, but what it says is all other Puranic scriptures shine forth in the assembly of saintly people only as long as this great ocean of nectar Srimad Bhagavatam is not heard. So as long as Srimad Bhagavatam is not heard, other Puranic scriptures will be shining. But once this Srimad Bhagavatam is being narrated, they will all take a back step. Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedanta. One who has felt satisfaction from its nectarian mellow will never be attracted to any other literature. So that is the other words which Prabhupada Saraswati is asking us to see here. येन रूप मत्स्य कूर्मा आदि अवतारा आविर्भवतिरो भाव येन तसबारा एई मत भागवत करो कृतनाया आविर्भवतिरो भाव अपने अहया. As the various incarnations of the Lord headed by Matsya and Kurma appear and disappear, Avirbhava Tirobhava, the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is not composed by man, also appears and disappears by its own sweet will. So Prabhupada Saraswati is asking us to see these verses, which we will see. Let me just finish off Prabhupada Saraswati's purport. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is stated, I'll just read the translation. The Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda, the Itihasas or histories, the Puranas, the Upanishads, the Shlokas or mantras chanted by the Brahmanas, the Sutras or accumulations of Vedic statements, as well as Vidya, the transcendental knowledge, and the explanations of the Sutras and mantras are all emanations from the breathing of that great personality of Godhead. So they don't have a birth or anything, they just appear from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we will see these verses which Prabhupada Saraswati wants us to see, 11, 14, 3. Here also it says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, By the influence of time, the transcendental sound of Vedic knowledge was lost at the time of annihilation. Therefore, when the subsequent creation took place, I spoke the Vedic knowledge to Brahma, because I myself am the religious principles enunciated in the Vedas. So Krishna gave these instructions to Brahma when, because of the influence of time, when the Vedic knowledge was lost. So even Srimad Bhagavatam was revealed to Brahmaji in the form of Chatur Shloka. So here Prabhupada Saraswati says, the transcendental sound of the Vedas is itself the highest evidence, but one whose senses and mind are entangled in sense gratification and mental speculation, and whose heart is therefore covered by material dust, cannot directly receive the transcendental message. Thus, one cannot appreciate the exalted position of devotional service to the Supreme Lord. And the other purport which Prabhupada Saraswati wanted us to see is, this is a beautiful verse. Krishne swadhamagapato. Swadhama dhvamopagate dharma jnanadibihi saha kalau nashtadrisham esha puranarko adhunoditaha. This Bhagavata Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna. It has arisen just like the sun, after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. So after the departure of the Supreme Lord, this Bhagavat Purana has arisen. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So here also Prabhupada Saraswati says, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna appeared before us just a little prior to the beginning of Kali Yuga, and he returned to his eternal home practically at the commencement of Kali. While he was present, he exhibited everything by his different activities. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita specifically and eradicated all pretentious principles of religiosity. And prior to his departure from this material world, he empowered Sri Vyasadeva through Narada to compile the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And thus both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are like the torch bearers for the blind people of this age. So if men in this age of Kali want to see the real light of life, they must take to these two books only, and then their aim of life will be fulfilled. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of the life of Lord Sri Krishna personified. We must therefore accept Srimad Bhagavatam as the direct representation of Lord Sri Krishna. One who can see Srimad Bhagavatam can see Lord Sri Krishna in person. They are identical. So we'll do the last words for today. Bhakti yoge bhagavata vyasera jihvaya spurti se haila matra krishnera kripaya. Simply by the mercy of Krishna and the devotion of Vyasadeva, Srimad Bhagavatam has manifested from the tongue of Srila Vyasadeva. Srimad Bhagavatam is an eternal literature. Even when it is lost in the course of time, by the Lord's mercy, it again appears on the tongue and from the writing of Sri Vyasadeva. This literature is incomprehensible to those mortal beings who are punished by Yamaraja. And still Srila Prabhupada so mercifully has given it to people like me. So we'll there is more glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam, but which will be taken up by the speaker on Monday. Please forgive me for stopping this in the middle, but I could not have covered everything. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. श्रीला गुरु महाराज की जय. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. Please correct all the mistakes I have done, and please share all your realizations, Mataji's and Prabhuji's. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you very much for such beautiful class, Mataji, and giving references from Srimad Bhagavatam and telling about Kuliya. And thank you very much. Dear devotees, please go ahead with your realizations or any comments or questions. You can raise your hand and go ahead asking your question.
No questions, Mataji. I'm not
Okay, yeah, realizations.
Praladanand Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Dhanwad Mataji. Very interesting class. You took us back to 26th Avenue. I had fortune of meeting Brahmananda Swami in Vrindavan long time back, And funny thing is that his brother, he was initiated and his name was Gargamuni.
Gargamuni.
Right? So I also had fortune of meeting him too there in Vrindavan.
Ah.
And Sri Prabhupada used to call him Garga Mani, not Muni. Mani.
I've heard this somewhere, Prabhuji. Because why Prabhuji? Because he was very careful, right?
Yeah. Actually, what happened was, he had some real estate in Vrindavan that time, and he wanted to sell me one apartment there. So he says, you are from US? He says, a very nice apartment, $20,000. And I said, rightly Prabhupada called him Gargamuni, not Gargamani. And he laughed like anything.
And it was Gargamuni, right, Prabhuji, when Prabhupada gets hospitalized
Yes.
in New York, and they asked Prabhupada to go to radiology, and then Gargamuni gets angry at the hospital staff because they didn't treat Prabhupada nicely. He says, my spiritual master is not to be treated this way, and he starts wheeling Prabhupada's
Out, yeah.
bed everywhere and gets lost.
Yes. Very
Right, it
nice.
was Gargamuni, I think. It's been a while.
Yeah. And Brahmanand Swami, I had met him in Tobacco Temple in New Jersey, long back in 1996, like that. So it's a great fortune to meet such great devotees of Sri Prabhupada. So, thank you, Mata. Haribol.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you for sharing your realizations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a nice class. It was so engaging, and we had all the experts on the call to nicely interact during this session. Thanks for making it interactive, Mataji. And also, thank you so much for doing all these verses and covering some of the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam in these verses. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you again for your valuable time and association. It was a very beautiful class. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and thank you for guiding me with each and every class you guide me. So thank you so much.
I don't do anything, Mataji. I'm just a hearing board.
No, Mataji. You don't know what you do.
Hi Krishna Chinmayi, such a lovely class. Thank you so much. The way you summarized it in the beginning just hooked me onto your class. And because you know how I'm so bad with names and personalities and dates and facts like that. So you made it easy to assimilate for a fool like me.
No.
And thank you so much. And yeah, of course, Preeti too, for always being my gurus. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Suksagari Mataji.
Of course, without
Mataji.
without Lalitangi Mataji's Prabhupada inputs, I would be failing like miserably if I didn't mention that.
Mataji is the one who handed me Leelamrita. It is this long back, long back. My son was 4 year old, and Mataji I would take Bhagavad Gita Shloka classes, so I would take my son to her and go, and I was so new. I wanted to make some donation to her Shloka class, and I had kept some donation in her altar, and I came. And the next week I went, she said, you can't just give me like this. And she handed me Leelamrita. She said, read this. So,
Yeah, I call Lalitangi fingertips because she has Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada Leelamrita, everything at her fingertips. So,
no.
yeah, so inspiring. Yeah.
No,
Actually, that's a That's a good name, Mataji. Fingertip Mataji. You're calling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the goat that just grazes the tip of the
Yeah.
grasses and not go to the roots. All of you go to the
Mataji.
roots and churn the nectar.
No, for you it has gone. It's flowing out from the tips like that.
Even I think Preeti Vilasni Mataji also calls her devotee generating machine or something like that, right, Mataji?
Actually, that name was given by one more Mataji. Yeah. She said devotee manufacturing machine.
That's true.
I just
Thank you.
stole the name from her.
I'm no way close to that, but all of you are merciful and please bless me that I stay a devotee first, and then can think of inspiring others.
I'm sitting here because of you, so thank you, Mataji.
Jai.
All devotee empowering machine and Katha empowering machine. All are sitting here, so I better shut my mouth and realize
Versus
my position.
Praladanand Prabhuji is the master of verses. He can
And we are blessed to have all of your association, Matajis and Prabhujis. Yeah, we are really blessed to have you all experts here.
Yeah, that's
And
Bhakti.
Sukasagri Mataji is, the what to say, the cuckoo or Gandharvi of when she starts singing, and then we are transported to another world. Thank you so much for that.
You all are very talented, Mataji, in one way or the other.
I'm
Helping
devotee Maya
Mm.
machine. How to nicely bring everybody to Maya. I can teach.
you guide very nicely, Mataji. Mataji, there are some nice comments like Sunil Prabhuji is glorifying your class and he likes the way you connect with, Chaitanya Prabhu. Like, the way you mentioned our Gauranga, our Gaur Sundar, like you're making us totally connect with them. You're making us to own them. Like
Oh,
they are
thank you,
ours.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's a very nice comment, Mataji. And Devgan Mataji is appreciating the class, and Lalitangi Mataji is telling very beautiful class. Uh, yeah, Shivani Mataji also, Mataji. She's very grateful to have your association and she's thanking for a beautiful class, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Thanks a lot for such nice and enlightening, engaging, and very insightful class, Mataji. So, with your permission, can we close the call, Mataji? Yeah, sure, Mataji. And we are very thankful to have you on the call, and we would be, waiting for your class again. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री चैतन्य भागवत की जय श्री हर ग्रेस चिन्मय sorry His Holiness, yeah, His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada ki jai, and Her Grace Chinmay Mata ji ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
Pranams,
Mataji.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
dear
Namaste.
devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Ending the call here. Hare Krishna.